Awesome afternoon, as it is in the United States. Wonderful evening or night, and magnificent morning. This is Carla from Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections. And I know I haven't been here much recently, but things are getting back to normal and I'm ready to start interviewing again. Having said that, I am so excited. I am getting my first interview back with the magnificent Mariam Allahwala, who was really the inspiration for the kids show almost 5 years ago, for the Learn English by Speaking English show. She inspired it when I had a conversation with her. She was in Dubai, I was in Washington, D.C., and her father put her on Zoom, and we had a wonderful, wonderful conversation. So I welcome Mariam Allahwala to my show. And look at how beautiful she is. This is so very exciting. Having said that, I want to remind you that this show, like all of my shows, is sponsored by Rehan Allahwala's Institute of Peace, which is created to promote peace one conversation at a time. And with that, I am going to ask Mariam to introduce herself.
Thank you so much for this introduction. It was amazing. My name is Mariam Allahwala, and I am from Karachi in Pakistan. I am 17 years old, and I just finished my O-levels, which I'm very proud of now. And I am teaching as an intern in my own school. I teach maths and I teach English a little bit, which I love, but I love maths, okay. And yes, that is my small introduction.
Well, first of all, you don't have to tell me that it's your introduction because that's what you're doing. But
that's who I am for now.
Tell me, Mariam, let's start really simple. The last time I spoke to you, you were telling me, as you said now, that you are teaching English to children from your school. How's that going?
It's been better in a way that I'm used to teaching, or like that routine or something, but creating interest and actually being able to explain is still difficult, but we're getting there, and I'm trying my best.
What I know you're doing your best. What is it that you find challenging?
What I find challenging is that, like, I only have one student, by the way. When I'm teaching her, and because we don't speak English in our households or outside even, so we're not comfortable in speaking in English. And after last time when I talked to you, I tried implementing this, that we'll talk in English only, but that did not go very well. So I decided to go back to just reading and writing, which is getting better, but I have this problem where she reads, but I mean, she just reads it like a textbook and she does not understand it. I don't know how to solve it. I mean, so when that happens, I read it with her again, and then we go through it, and I usually translate it for her so that she can understand it. But I feel like it might not be helping her as much as I'd wanted to.
What doesn't she understand? Does she? Because I remember you telling me that she begins writing and writing and writing. What is she writing, and does it show understanding?
It used to be that way. Now it's even difficult to write for her. I don't know if that's my fault or something, but she does want to write. I mean, in the beginning, the topics I gave her for writing were easier, like introduce yourself or describe your favorite personality, or, something like that. But as we go forward, I'm trying to give her topics that are more creative, like maybe write a story, or let's write down a conversation between two people or something. And so that's a bit difficult for her. Yeah. So
That,
it's difficult.
yeah, that is a more difficult skill, Mary. And it's more difficult because you need to be, in order to write it in English, you need to really be engrossed in English.
Yes.
I want to point out something. There are two things that go in a conversation, and there are two things that you need to learn when you're learning to speak, read, and write. When you began speaking in Urdu, were you writing and reading at the same time?
No.
No, not at all. When did you begin reading?
I'm guessing I started school at 6 or something like that.
Right. So that was for your native language. For English, if you were learning a new language, where do you think it would be easiest to start? Speaking, reading, or writing?
I think it would be easier to read, but then again, I wouldn't be able to understand it.
Right. Very important. Very important thing you just said. If you were just speaking with someone, would it make it easier? When you're speaking with me, does it make it easier for you to understand English? And I'm not trying to sell my coaching at all in English.
Well, yes, it used to be difficult when we first started because, well, I wasn't used to speaking in English, but yes, it got easier.
So for your student who it's just, how old is she?
She's 15 or maybe 16.
I even thought she was younger. Okay, she's 15 or 16. And you're teaching her English. Where do you think it would be easier to start?
I think it would be easier to start by hearing people and speaking English.
Right.
And then, I guess, trying to talk in English.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Who else am I talking to?
No. Wait for her.
Okay. So we've already kind of got to the understanding that speaking comes first. Now, if you're speaking to this young lady in English, do you think it's your knowledge of English is greater than her knowledge, right? correct?
For now, yes.
So where would you start with speaking with her in English? What would be the easiest things for her to do?
Well, telling me about herself, maybe.
Yeah, what else?
I don't know, I'm confused now.
You're doing a great job. Starts with telling her about herself. You won't be able to do a whole lesson in English yet. But when you start your lesson, wouldn't it be nice to say, "Hi, how are you?" She can answer good, bad, or whatever. What did you do today? Oh, I went to school. What did you study? Oh, we did some science experiments. And let her tell you about that. And then whatever you are teaching her, you'll combine that English and Urdu. You can even use it for her writing assignment. Okay, you did a science experiment on growing sweet potatoes. What did you do? Well, I put it in the soil. What did you do? Ask her about it. Very, very simple things. You're very young. You're getting into this teaching idea. It's difficult. I know. Especially at the point you're at. But do you see what I'm saying? Which may make it easier for you.
Okay, I'll be very honest. Even like I'm talking to you in English because, well, that's the only language you can speak with me right now. But when I am around everybody in public, it's actually difficult for me to speak in English when everyone around me is speaking in Urdu. Even to her,
Right.
I don't feel very confident. So it's actually my problem to begin with, but then I have to get over that and then make it easy for her.
For as long as I have known you, and it's going on 5 years now, it's unbelievable 5 years, you have always spoken to me in English. True or false?
True.
And when you spoke in English, did I ever have questions understanding you?
I don't know, you tell me.
I'm asking you, do you feel uncomfortable speaking with me in English?
No.
Right.
I mean, I would feel a bit scared because I'd be afraid I'm going to say something wrong, but no, not in that way.
Your English is beautiful, Mariam.
Thank you.
And you don't speak with a Pakistani accent. I have no trouble understanding it.
Well, that's a compliment.
And I never did have any trouble.
Okay.
So now that you know that, how does that make you think about speaking in English?
Better. Much better.
Does it help you feel more confident?
Yes, but I still don't think I'd be able to speak in English in front of too many people. Because the fear I do have, it might be in my head only, but over here, if you speak in English, the people like even the people of your own age group might start judging you for being so we have a term, it's called burger, and that's when you're like an elite or it's difficult to explain. So you call someone a burger when you think when you feel like that the other person thinks of them as higher, like okay. Okay, so if everybody around me is talking in Urdu and I go over there and I start talking in English, they'll be like, "Why aren't you talking in Urdu? Are you really? I mean, don't you know how to speak in Urdu?" They start judging you, and that's a fear that I have. I don't want to be judged like that. That's also a reason I don't do it.
Okay, that's a very normal fear. You may be going into a group of friends and you're not going to speak in English. They speak in Urdu. That's normal, correct?
Yes.
I wouldn't, if I knew Urdu and I was speaking to people in this country in Urdu, I'd feel very uncomfortable. Except that I actually greeted someone the other day in a Pakistani restaurant. She came up to me. I was looking for a straw, and she came up to me and gave it to me. And I said, "Oh, salam alaikum." And she looked at me and she said, "You know this?" And I said, "Yeah, I coach people in English every day." And she said, "Oh," and she said, "Walaikum salam." And I remembered how to say "Ap kasi hai." I don't know where it came from. I'm good, and you? And I said, "Good." I can't say any more in Urdu. But the point is, I couldn't carry on a long conversation with her. That's to be expected. But you could decide in your household, everyone speaks English, including Michelle now, I believe. Moment had told me.
Yeah.
You could speak 5 minutes with them in English. One person, 5 minutes a day. It'll grow as time goes on. But as you begin doing that, it will help you grow that confidence. You can do it. I mean, I have no doubt. The question is whether you want to do it.
It is my choice.
Right. It's absolutely your choice. But when you make that choice, hey, I want to do it, and I'm not pushing it at all, what do you think will happen?
I don't know. I'm confused again.
What do you think would happen if you begin speaking just 5 minutes, maybe even 2 minutes the first day? What do you think will happen with your confidence?
Well, it's starting reading.
Right. And you'll really be able to teach this young lady English. You're so capable. Let it be. Let it happen.
I'm learning. It's okay.
We're all learning. I learn from you every time I talk to you.
That's very sweet.
We learn from each other. That's the reason we're here. And for no other reason. Now, how's your cake business doing?
It's kind of stuck. I do bake sometimes when I really need the money. or when I usually just do it when someone, some family member or someone I know approaches me. So I do it for them, but not other than that.
So, but are you still cooking, baking your cakes?
No, that is also stopped.
Why? Is it time or is it just lack of desire?
I think there's two things. There's lack of interest, of course, and there's me being lazy. Like sometimes even if I do wanna make something, it's just, I think it's lack of interest and that passion that I had, that I could just get up and bake and I'd feel very nice about it. It's not like that anymore.
So it's time to move on. But do you make the cake for the family birthdays?
I was making them. I have my uncle has 4 daughters, and 3 of them had birthdays in the past few months, and they made me bake stuff for them. So I did make, like, so everyone wants a different thing. One wants cinnamon rolls, one wants only chocolate cupcakes with that specific frosting, and the other wants I don't know, beignets maybe. So I make that for them, but nothing other than that.
Will you make a birthday cake for your dad in a few weeks?
I get really scared when I have to bake for my dad because, well,
go on. Why? I have to know.
You see, he has an acquired taste and he has tasted some very good cakes, and even I love them. But it's very difficult to exactly make the same thing that he loves. And when I don't, so I there's one problem about me that when I bake something, if someone has an opinion or you know yeah, an opinion about it, and that I might not like, I just tell them it's okay. You don't like it, just don't say it. I can't listen to them, but I can't stop my father, and then he might say something about it that I won't like. So I'd rather just not make anything.
I can understand not being able to stop your dad.
Yes,
I'm sorry, I had to laugh.
it's okay. It's how it is.
It is. I can completely relate to that. But you should make a cake for him for his birthday.
I might. Let's see. There's some time left.
Now, I do know you did tell me that I don't go out much, but I know that you're forced to go out at times. What do you like about Karachi?
The only thing that's actually very, very good in Karachi, and only in Karachi, that's Karachi's food. I love it. And you can't find good food everywhere in Pakistan. Like in Islamabad, I really like Islamabad. It's nice and it's fresh. There's greenery. It's open, but their food sucks. It's really bad. So whenever I go to Islamabad, I miss the food over here. So I can't live anywhere other than Karachi because it's just so good.
What is your favorite food in Karachi?
I don't have a favorite food. I want to eat. Well, Food Panda is my favorite app. I go window shopping on Food Panda, and I open the app. I look, and well, sometimes I don't even order anything. I just add stuff to my cart, and then I close the app. But I don't know what I love. Mm, I So there's one thing that is very, very famous and loved by almost everyone in Karachi. That's biryani. I
Oh,
am not a fan of biryani. I mean, I like a good biryani. I won't say no to it, but it's not my favorite.
actually, that's what I had at the restaurant with my friend. I decided I've never had biryani.
Mm.
And I was a little disappointed. First of all, the bones were in, I had chicken biryani because they
Mm.
didn't have anything else, and the bones
Okay.
were in the chicken, and that really turned me off.
That's how it is. I mean, that's just how biryani is. It can be messy, but when it's good, I mean, I love eating with my hands. So the chicken on the bones is not a problem. And we don't have too many dishes with boneless meat. There's bone in every dish.
Oh, really?
Like we love meat, of course. There's meat in almost every dish, and it's with the bones. I mean, there's some items that I can think of, like a chicken handi maybe, but at least in our household, we don't make them very often.
So what do you cook in your household at all?
Me, that would be a no. I've become a very picky eater. So, especially after I had COVID, my taste buds are
You
very
have
confused.
COVID?
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
after
know.
that, sorry.
I had no knowledge of that. I
Yeah,
knew
well,
that you were not answering any messages, but I didn't know why.
I had COVID in July. So
Oh,
it's been some time. But after that, my taste buds are very confused. Like I cannot tolerate the smell, even the smell of onions, and the taste is just beyond my tolerance. And chocolate doesn't taste like chocolate anymore. It's the worst. So after that, I don't feel like eating anything that's been made in our house because almost everything has onions. And so yes, when there's something that I don't want to eat, then I cook, but only for myself.
wow. So what do you cook?
Uh, so I make kimchi. That's not actually very authentic, but I love it. I was watching a lot of Korean dramas, and I still do. So I love their food now, and so I started making kimchi for myself. So I have a box of that in the fridge. So whenever there's rice, like with lentils or whatever at home, I make a Thai omelette for me with the rice, and I eat it with that kimchi. So good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always only thought of you as the baker. You're more than the baker.
Yeah, baking requires a whole lot of time and patience that I have lost. So I just cook for me that I can, get ready in like an hour, in an hour max.
Wonderful. So, what else do you want to tell me? What did you do today?
Today I only watched this new show. It's not a new show. I'm sure you've at least heard of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, yeah, I know of
Yeah.
it.
So my mother used to watch it a long time ago. So I decided to watch it, and it is fun. So I watched that the whole day. I had nothing to do. So
Now, is Saad back in Karachi or is he still traveling?
no, Saad is traveling. Abdullah, my mother, Mikhail, Mashal, they're all traveling.
Where are they traveling?
They are in Dubai.
Oh,
Saad,
wow.
I don't know where Saad is. And everyone else is at home.
How's Michelle doing?
Good, I guess. I mean, Ami had to go on Tuesday urgently, and Mashal couldn't get that flight. So Mashal stayed for 2 days, and then she went with Abdullah Bhai on Friday. So I was taking care of her those 2 days in between, and it was not easy. She is one spoiled kid. It's very difficult.
She is.
Yes, she's very spoiled. Everybody knows that.
But your whole family can be very difficult at times.
Yes, I agree. And look at what we've done to her. I mean, everybody spoils her, and now it's done.
But you know that I say that in a loving manner. With
We are all very difficult. I know that. I accept it.
But you know, for me, that's what makes the whole family very, very wonderful. I love it. Because you're all so crazy. And I'm not any less crazy than anyone in your family, so we all blend together. So I did want to ask you, if I was to come to Karachi, what kind of clothes should I bring? Or should I get them when I get there?
It depends. If you really want to blend in, then you can just bring a few clothes and we can get you a lot of clothes from here. We love shopping, of course. So you can do that, or you can bring whatever you want. Be comfortable, that's what matters.
Because I would need to wear long sleeves all the time. And I've actually been practicing on that. I had bought a very comfortable jeans jacket, and I've been wearing it when I go out now. In order, now who knows when I'm coming? I don't think I'm coming anytime soon, but
very, very nice of you to prepare in advance.
Well, it's a thought, you know. It's something I really would like to do eventually. So, would I need to have long sleeves? Would I need to be as covered as you are, or what would be expected?
Well, I choose to be completely covered, but you don't have to be. Not at all, actually. I mean, you can wear full sleeves if you want. And we have a problem over here. People stare a lot. Like, a lot. It's very annoying. So, this is, I mean, they're going to stare at you, whatever, no matter what you're wearing. So, I don't know what the solution for that is. But all I can say is if you're coming in summer, it is extremely hot in Karachi, like very bad. So to bring clothes according to that. And even if you come in winters, it won't be anything compared to Washington. So you can just, you don't have to be worried about that.
I would like to come in the summer just to get a real feeling for the weather.
But are you sure?
Am I sure?
Yes, because it's very. I don't go out anyways, but it's especially in summers, it's very bad outside. And you might have to we have to have indoor activities only, and stay inside. Even though most Karachi is only indoor stuff and only food, but it's very hot. Of course, you can come. I'm not stopping you or anything. I'm just telling you, it's very hot.
How is it in the shade, though? Like I've seen pictures of your garden, and there are trees there. Does that make it a little more easy to be in?
Not really. No, I mean the best time to go out is in early in the morning, maybe like before, like come back home before 12 at max, I'd say. And then if you want to go out again, then you should leave at maybe 4 in the evening, so that that extreme what's it called? Sunlight is gone, and then it won't really affect you too bad.
It does make me want to question that trip.
I mean, we have those trees, but the sun is it's still very hot. I mean, the floor is burning, even the grass is burning if you walk on it barefoot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people do not walk barefoot in Karachi.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that because there's it saddens me, of course, but there's a whole lot of poor people, and some of them don't even have slippers to wear, so they do walk barefoot on the roads. Even it's very sad, and yeah, but
It is.
they do. It's not a good choice. I mean, they don't have a choice, I guess. But no, if someone does have a choice, they will not walk barefoot in Karachi. Even in winters, actually. So dirty. I'm literally bad mouthing my own city. But that's how it is.
You're not really bad mouthing it. You're being very honest about what it's like. Are there things about Karachi you really like?
That would have to be the food, honestly. I mean, there is the beach, but I'm not a fan of the beach either because, well, there's so much sand. And I like the beach, but just to look at it from the car. Nothing more than that. And sorry.
You have a boardwalk, or it's just road and you park and you just go to the beach?
Well, there's no wall. Okay, there is a wall. It's a very small wall. You can jump over it. Now there's a whole parking area on the beach. It wasn't there before. They've just made it. And they've made a park on the beach. It's very confusing. I went, when did I go? I went a week ago. And I'm not going for a very long time now. Because there's so many, at least so it's a very big sea, of course. So there's a whole lot of spots that you can go to, but at the main sea view, there are a lot of people over there. So the best time to go to the beach is early in the morning, not even at sunset, at sunrise. There's very little people and it's quiet. It's still gonna smell weird, but it's gonna be empty. And then the rest of the beaches, like there's Turtle Beach and Hawke's Bay, and there's French Beach. Those those are like where the huts are. You can go there. Those are empty. Yeah.
Wow. Changes the viewpoint a lot.
There are beautiful beaches in Pakistan. I love the beach in Ormara, that is in Balochistan.
Now, what's the difference?
Let me tell you. So the beach in Ormara, that's 8 hours. an 8-hour drive from Karachi. It's so there's also a mountain in between in the water, I guess, and it's maintained by the army, so it's not very dirty. And the first time we went, it was like I'm in some other world. It was so good. The water was so clean, and the sand was still bad, but it wasn't that bad. I just had a really good time. I guess I have good memories of that beach. That's why I like it. But it's very much better than Karachi beach.
Now, is Balochistan a safe place to go?
I think it's getting safer, but so the first time we went to Balochistan, I went to Balochistan, was with a whole very big group. There were like 2 or 3 buses, big buses. So we had some army officers with us for our safety. So no, it wasn't that safe. But the last time I went, when was that? Last year. It was much better. We didn't have any army officer with us, or I actually went with my school. So, but yes, I guess I was. Some people were still a little scared, but it's getting better.
Interesting. Where is the safest place in Pakistan?
I've heard it's Hunza and Skardu. I went to Hunza only, and yes, I felt very safe. I mean, people weren't staring at me, and I've heard that the crime rate in Hunza is also very low. I saw women walking, just a group of women walking, even alone on the roads, and it wasn't a problem. Nobody was staring. I mean, that's you're supposed to be a normal thing, but it's not in Karachi or in most of Pakistan. But and Hunza is a place that I found to be very safe and very nice.
So in Karachi, do women walk alone, or are they always with someone?
Women, of course, women have to walk alone. I mean, for work or for anything, but they're always. At least if I am walking alone on the road, which is very like I might be going from one house to the other or just to a shop very nearby, I'm always scared. Not about someone staring me, that's normal, but it's someone maybe walking too close to me, or is someone gonna snatch my bag, or even though I don't see it happening too often, but the fear is still in my mind. I'm this is so sad. I have these thoughts going on in my mind that what happens if someone just takes me away somewhere, and well, you don't want to think about that.
No, you
And
don't.
that should not be normal, but it is. I mean, like the other day, my friend was at my place and she had to go home in Uber, and well, I mean, that might be a normal thing for you too, but she like literally sent me her location, and like she shared her location with me until she's reached her place. Or once we were traveling in Kareem and Uber, 3 friends of mine, and this friend of mine was so, and I am not that scared, but this friend of mine was so scared, and she was like, don't talk too loudly, and don't do that, don't do this. I mean, because it was 10 p.m. and it was just us 3. She was so scared, and it was so sad because she was like, this guy could just kidnap us, or this guy could do anything, and it was very weird. Something.
Is it normal? Is that fear very normal in Pakistan?
Yes.
And that's why I remember a year or two ago, you told me you only feel safe when you're completely covered. Now I can sort of understand why you're saying that.
So it still is that way, but now I feel like even if I am covered, people might judge me a little. I mean, women who choose not to cover themselves too much, like as much as me at least, I, I, I mean, it's their choice. It's normal for me, but they're they're stared at more. I think in my mind at least that more than a lady in an abaya would. But uh, of course, this could again still only be in my mind. But last time when I went to Lahore, uh, I was wearing an abaya, and I was covering my face, and everything was covered. You couldn't see just my hands and my eyes. That's all. And this group of men just kept staring at me and staring, and they're staring, and very scary. And then I went somewhere, and I felt like they were following me, and that's when I felt like even covering myself, there's no point. I'm still gonna do it, but it's not actually protecting me that much, because this, and I feel like they're staring at me more than they were if I was just wearing a normal kurta pajama and not an abaya.
Wow.
Very confusing.
Now, abayam is the jacket or the coat that you wear.
Yes.
And do you wear it all the time?
It's become very less. I mean, when I'm lazy, I wear an abaya, because I can just wear my t-shirt and my comfortable clothes inside. But I also wear my normal clothes that cover me just as much.
Wow. This is very, very interesting. You're teaching me a lot in a very short period of time. Thank you.
Are you changing your mind about coming to Pakistan though? I didn't want to do that.
No, I will come.
Good.
There have been all kinds of thoughts about my trip to Pakistan and all kinds of discussions, and I don't know when I will come.
It'll happen.
I thought it was going to be very soon. It doesn't look like that right now, but who knows? As I said before, you know who I work with, so you never know. Is there anything you want to ask me before we end this?
Yes, one question. How have you been? I did not ask that the whole time.
How have I been? It's been a really challenging time for me recently. You know that I had a dog, and I say had because he died a little over almost 2 weeks ago, and I miss him. There were issues with my apartment, and I had to live in a hotel for 3 months while they were fixing things up. And that was not fun. It made it very hard for me to do my work because I was always getting calls from the insurance agent or from the people, the contractors, and I never knew when I would be able to take care of things because I didn't have the time available. Like I would plan it, and just as I was planning it, I would get a call that I would need to take, and it would take longer than I expected, and it wasn't any fun. But I got through. It's over. And I'm breathing and I'm a person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. You asked me how I've been. That's what I've been going through. And that's why I haven't been doing much the same amount of work as I normally do. By the way, can I get you to the kids' show tomorrow?
I'm not gonna promise, but I will try.
Okay, I'm not asking you to promise. And any of the kids in your family who want to come, including the little Michelle, I would love to see there.
They're not here. It's like,
Oh yeah,
but I'll bring them.
Dubai.
Yes.
So who is Michelle, Mikhail, your mom, who else?
Abdullah.
And Abdullah and his wife, I would assume.
No, she's here.
Neha's there.
Mhm.
Okay. And Saad is out. So it's you, your dad, and
Momina and Neha.
okay. How are the sisters getting along?
Good. Nice.
So it's working better
Of course.
these days. Of course. And all the boys are away except for your dad.
Yes.
I think it's
I was thinking. Sorry.
what?
No. Go on.
No, say what were you saying?
I can talk about this later. Oh, that's okay.
Oh, when we get off.
Yeah.
So why don't we wave goodbye? Mariam, thank you so much for talking to me today. It's been fun.
It
And a
really
great
was.
way to get back to doing interviews. Thank you. And we're going to wave goodbye. Remember, people, that this show is sponsored by Rehan Allahwala's Institute of Peace, which promotes peace one conversation at a time. And we are going off air. Bye, everyone.